Hello Leeds United fans, hope you're all doing fantastically well. It's Connor. We are back with another video. Just a bit of a quick update from me on this rumour mill episode. Please make sure you're slapping a like on the video. Please make sure you're subscribing and commenting, interacting, engaging, giving me your thoughts. Really happy when you guys do that. I read every single comment, so make sure you do that. Head on over to the Patreon as well. We're going to be recording a bonus episode today. We've got, obviously, across the pond, we've got Generation Leeds coming on over there, everybody, so make sure you go on over there and do so. So, what's going on today on the rumour mill? According to Football Insider, who are starting to do my little head in, because, look, we don't look at them as sort of affirmative sources. We don't look at them as confirmation. It's like 10 out of 10 sources. We always take these things with a pinch of salt when it comes to certain news outlets. But they've taken a complete U-turn from what they heard the other day, apparently. And we now are of the understanding that Cheikhou Kouyaté has failed his medical. Obviously, the midfielder hasn't played that much football in the last 2 years. And you were thinking to yourself, is he going to be able to pass this? Is he going to be able to get this through this rigorous testing of championship football as well? You know, if he's to come in and start for Leeds United, I don't know. But time would have told. I would have been a big advocate of this signing. But as the time has gone on, the week has gone on. I mean, it was even last week, wasn't it? But it's drilled into this week as well. It feels like Cheikhou Kouyaté is not going to get done. And if it is going to get done, it's certainly not going to get done before Sheffield United and Chris Wilder arrive in West Yorkshire on Friday evening, which means there's depth issues slightly with Leeds United going into this game. It means options in that central midfield, that defensive central midfield space, are a little bit sparse. Now, the issue with it for me, when you're looking at these Football Insider articles, is the deal was done and now it's completely off. And I just don't feel that it ever was that. Maybe Leeds weren't close to signing him whatsoever. I don't know. We know that he was at Thorpe Arch, but was there a bit of a problem? We've said this when it comes to wages, when it comes to his age, but you feel Leeds would have known his wages. You feel Leeds would have known his age prior going into negotiation, prior getting him at Thorpe Arch, which if you're to read certain reports, he was at Thorpe Arch. He was going through the rigmarole of getting used to the Leeds United speed, and he'll have met Daniel Farke, he'd have done all that sort of stuff. So you wonder what's happened there. If it is a failed medical, you've got to hold your hands up and say, well, you can't blame Leeds United fully for that. I mean, how can you? He's failed his medical. They've got to that point, and very much like Mickey Cuisance, he's failed his medical. So we can't do anything about that, really. So we're going through a stage right now where we're still waiting to find out the official source. We know Daniel Farke's press conference is at 1:30 today. So we'll wait and see, but it's not looking good. It is not looking good. There's been nothing really from the top journalists at the club, and even the top journalists in and around Leeds United, who sort of give you some good sources when you look at Mike McGrath, when you look at Steve Stone, when you look at all these people who report in and around Leeds. There's been nothing official there, which gives you a little bit of a raised eyebrow, and TBR and Football Insider are giving you these sort of, it's done. And it's like, well, we've not heard anything from anyone official, so is it done? So yeah, slight issue there, and a shame, a real shame, because I thought Cheikhou Kouyaté would have been a top signing for Leeds. I do. In the where we are right now, what we need right now, the presence, the leadership, the experience, you know, and just the capabilities as well. At 34 years of age, I felt he'd have come in and given Leeds United something, and the league would have turned around and gone, ooh, like we would have done if Cheikhou Kouyaté had signed for Sheffield United, or Burnley would have gone, ooh, blimmin' heck, that's a good addition. So yeah, a shame. Now there are other names in there, Edouard and Michou. Obviously Leeds United were chasing him. The 21-year-old is out of contract. You've got other names like Francis Coquelin as well, the 33-year-old, I believe, is out of contract since leaving Villarreal, I think. A defensive midfield presence there. Obviously, Michou is a little bit further up, more of a central midfielder. So a lot to consider there, but Leeds have to get into this free market. They have to do something. We can't wait, unfortunately, till January, in my opinion, with the fixture congestion, with the amount of games we have in December, with just two midfielders. And we know Charlie Krew's there, but can Charlie Crew be there? Can he be sustenance? Can he really be sustenance for Leeds United going through that period when he's not made a full debut for the club? I don't think he can. What else do we know about Leeds United last night? Well, annoyingly, again, everybody, it's not great news this morning. Mr. Brendan Aronson played 93 minutes for the USA's loss against Mexico. Obviously, that international derby of which neither side likes to lose. The USA lost 2-0, and Brendan Aronson was only one of 4 US players who stayed on for the full 93 minutes. Mr. Pochettino was not thinking about Leeds United's game against Sheffield United on Friday night, it has to be said. But Brendan Harrison is good from an international perspective. He's playing 93 minutes. If he can get back in there, that's going to boost his confidence again. It's really going to sort of elevate his profile as well. So that's a good thing, you know, a championship player playing that sort of minutes for a really sort of developing and evolving US men's national team, which 10, 15 years ago, a player in the championship playing for the USA was probably seen as normal, quite regular. But now the elevation, Pochettino coming in and them targeting the quarterfinals for the World Cup, you know, you'd be thinking that they're looking at higher level players playing at Premier League, you know, La Liga, Liga and Serie A. So it's good that Brendan Harrison is able to do that for his profile. But for me, it is one of those where you are expecting now, with him playing at 3:30 a.m, you're expecting that he's not going to play. I'd be stunned if he plays, if he starts, really, against Sheffield United. I think he'd maybe get one training session in, but there's going to be jet lag. There's going to be a real issue there when it comes to fatigue. So I don't think he'll start. And I think this is where you might see, dependent on who's fit, if Dan James is fit, if he's match fit, which is key, Manor Solomon, match fit, if they come back in, if they're able to facilitate Leeds out wide or in central positions, you can manipulate and move Willian Gnonto. I think Willian Gnonto is at the peak of his powers centrally. So if you get Dan James back, you put Dan James on the right-hand side, you bring Willian Gnonto centrally and have Manor Solomon on the bench. That is my ideal, to be quite honest with you right now. And I don't think we're losing anything right now from Brendan Harrison being out. There is another option. Joel Peru, obviously, if you go to a front two, but just call Peru a number 10 if you want, just in behind Joseph a little bit, take Aronson out, then you've still got the width of Ramazani and Gnonto, but then you've got two centre forwards really who can pin back Harry Suter and Anel as well. So if you're able to do that, then that might give Chris Wilder something else to think about, aside from the predictable 4-2-3-1 which Leeds have sort of deployed for the past 2 years, really, aside from pre-season. So a little bit of things to consider there, everybody. I mean, what would you do? Would you put Perot in that number 10? I think we are going to see the fact that Dan James is going to be back. I think we're going to see Manor Solomon's going to be back. But you do wonder, with what's going on at Leeds United, with the carousel of injuries at this moment in time, if every one of them's going to be fit. I'm going to predict that Brendan Harrison is going to be out for this one. And I'm going to predict that he's going to go with Joel Peru in that number 10. And we're still going to see Willian Gnonto out right. We're still going to see Ramazani out left. And we're going to see Dan James, Manor Solomon on the bench. But it's a little bit of a conundrum, everybody. I say a little bit, a real conundrum, because what we are going to be facing, we're going to get into a bit of a preview. We're going to get into a preview, which I want you guys to go over and check out. It's either going to be out tonight or tomorrow. It's probably going to be out tomorrow. We're going to be speaking about the tactical imprint of Sheffield United, where Leeds can hurt them, the key battles, the tactical imprint of Chris Wilder for this game, and what can Daniel Farke do. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. We'll see you later on for a little bit of a press conference update. It's been Connor, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.